You'll be the president, you'll be the vice president.
Me too, that's why I'm late. I'm waiting for the rain to stop.
We did this in June and July, and Shirley was unable to be a part of it.
Phyllis Barone reporting for Michigan Golfer TV, and we're here with a couple ladies that have some great stories about women in golf. And Judy Figa was going to tell us about the first time that she played on the European Tour, is that correct?
No, I just played golf.
Oh, you just played golf?
An amateur golfer, and I went to Japan to see my daughter and my son-in-law, who was in the Navy. And while I was there, one of the sailors loaned me a set of clubs, and I went over to Japan, the lowermost island, and I played golf on Fukushima, and I was the first woman to play golf in Japan. I had a woman caddy, because that's all they were allowed to do on the golf course, and I got applause on every hole from the men because they'd never seen a woman play golf. And when I came in, they were waiting for me, and they said, "We would like to invite you to the Tokyo Country Club." But I was leaving to go Christmas shopping the next day in Hong Kong, and I had to tell them no. But it was a delight.
So, Judy, how did you know that you were the first woman to play there?
My caddy told me, and then the men on the first tee next to me came over and said, "Where'd you come from? How did you know how to play golf? No women ever played golf here." That's how I found out.
So, and how did you play that day?
Well, I shot in the 80s.
Oh, awesome.
So
that was a major achievement overall. First woman to play golf and shoot in the 80s?
Well, I was still playing good golf then. You know, I wasn't so old, but I'm okay.
And now, are you a member here at Meadowbrook, or?
I'm not a member at any private club. I pay Publinks. And I was with Serra when we started the Michigan Women's Publinks.
Wonderful.
And I also revived Women's Metropolitan Golf Association, which was the first women's golf association that was allowed to play a course without a man.
Without a man. Oh my gosh.
Some of the originals were still there, maybe for 2 years, and the only time they could play was if they went out with their husbands. So this was what I...
What if you didn't know a man who played golf?
Well, my husband played golf, and he grew up with Carl Rose and Gene Bone, so I knew them all my life, so that's how it all started.
Well, wonderful. Well, we give you a lot of credit for giving women the opportunity to continue to play and enjoy the game. Now, we know we have a friend here, Pat, and she's going to tell us a little bit about, was it Meg Mallon you were giving us a story about?
Yes, I know Meg Mallon, as does Judy. We used to play in Meg's outing for Mercy High School for 20 years. And I'm also one of the founding members of the Michigan Women's Golf Association and have been involved in that for, well, now over 30 years.
Over 30 years. Wow, that's unbelievable. What achievements do you think that you've made for the game for women?
Well, I think just supporting other women in golf is very, very important, and I think the MWGA has done that. I was the presenting sponsor for the Michigan Women's Golf Association 30th anniversary a year ago, May, and continue to support the organization.
Now, and we're here obviously honoring Shirley Spork today. Can you give us a little bit of insight on how long you've known Shirley, what you think Shirley has done?
Well, I don't know Shirley personally, but I know that she is a founder of the Ladies Professional Golf Association, and I've been a follower of the LPGA for well over 50 years. I support the tournaments that the LPGA plays in Grand Rapids, down in Toledo, and in Ann Arbor.
So how do you suggest, as a young woman golfer, how do they get involved in the game today?
Through either local First Tee, LPGA girls golf programs, private junior programs if they belong to a private club.
And your organizations are, again, and how do they reach you?
Like I said, I was a founder of the Michigan Women's Golf Association.
And that's the MWGA.
That's correct.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. And we're here with Nancy Serra, who's a longtime member of the Michigan Women's Golf Association and also a player for many years, right, Nancy?
Correct. Yeah, over 25 years.
Awesome. And you're still competing, correct?
Yes, I am. Not always at the top of the level, but, still competing. Doesn't matter.
So give us a little history about maybe some of the things you've learned, who you played with, who you've instructed from. We were talking a little bit about Shirley and going to her clinics and things.
Yes, she would, every time she was involved in one of our events, she would put on a little demonstration about one golf thing or another, and it was always fun listening to her and then heeding her words. That helps.
So did you take a lot of instruction as you played the game?
Actually, no.
So how did you learn?
Well, my first husband was a pretty good golfer, and I started golfing when I was 16. So learned most of what I know from him.
And then you divorced him, right? No, I'm kidding.
Yes. Then I did, yeah, sometime later. My son golfs. He's a really good golfer.
Wonderful. So you've encouraged your children to play.
Oh, yes.
So what would you, as women, getting involved in the game, Nancy, what would you suggest that they do to, one, learn the game and kind of stay with it?
Well, just play the game and get to know the people. I just made this little speech. I'm also a member of Women's Metropolitan Golf Association, and I just did this little speech. Yes, golf is a great sport, but more important are the people that you play with. And that's what really just gives you a lot of input. And you can learn from them, and they'll be your friends forever. I mean, that's more important.
I think that is true. We, as amateur golfers, always find that you could play with somebody in a different state, a different country. You might not see them for a couple years, but then if you reconnect, you say, let's go play golf.
That's true.
And they're friends forever.
That is it. And they're your good friends. I mean, just think, they're doing the same thing that you like. So they're thinking like you are and behaving like you are and loving like you are.
Well, thank you, Nancy. We appreciate you being here with us and Shirley today.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad to be here.